3D printing has been around for almost 30 years. It has amazing capabilities. Almost anything you can imagine, you can print. 3D printing allows you to turn your ideas into reality. Whether you're printing architectural pieces for a class, engineering pieces for prototyping, or even final products for small run manufacturing. The most incredible thing about 3D printing is it's going to change the way that we think about the world. It changes what you can do every day in your life.
One of the most exciting things about 3D printing technology is its versatility. We've seen it used for rapid prototyping in professional situations, but what's really exciting is the availability of 3D printing to schools, which is brand new because the technology has come down in price and the machines have gotten a lot smaller. So now we can introduce kids to this very important skill early on and have their thought process be, I'm not relegated to what's available right now, I can print something new. There's a lot of examples that we're seeing in feedback from schools that express such great creativity from the students once they get the hands on their technology. There's a pretty small learning curve when you're introducing 3D printing to education. It's just learning some very simple software, and the machines themselves are pretty self-explanatory once you have a little bit of background.
So there are a ton of applications within education for 3D printing. You've got math, geometry, we work with architecture, schools, we work with the universities that are trying to prototype for mechanical engineering, but also in K through 12, you have students that are just trying to learn about, a particular area of interest. Take, for example, historical artifacts. The ability to recreate those artifacts and just hold them in your hands can be so compelling and bring the student to the thing that they're learning. It creates this engagement, I think, that is really hard to replicate. You have the ability to basically take something, take an idea, take a design that they have made, potentially, and they've creatively come up with themselves, and actually see it become a reality. And that's really the power of 3D printing.
At MatterHackers, we create 3D software solutions for 3D printing. Our software is much easier to use, it's dramatically intuitive, and it also has all of the advanced and robust features that an experienced expert user needs.
We actually work with a lot of hardware manufacturers, the people that actually make these 3D printers, to make their 3D printers as easy to use as possible.
One of the goals of our software, which is Matter Control, is to allow children to use it. So in education, when we're dealing with elementary schools or junior high schools, these kids still find it intuitive and clear and understand how to get right into the software and start 3D printing.
3D printing is being used not only in the elementary K through 12 level, but also on the university level. We hear from art departments, architecture departments, science departments of how they're using 3D printing to really help their research.
So 3D printing has a really wide variety of industries that are involved in it. Besides education, you also have obviously engineering is a big component of it, and people use 3D printing to do rapid prototyping. That's one of its main applications, where people are taking their idea for a product or a design or a component and turning it into the reality of that, so they can see, even if it's not necessarily the final product, see how it's going to work in the end.
What excites me the most about 3D printing is the view of the future, where people are not thinking that they have to settle for the way things are in the world. They can actually imagine and create their own products that are going to help them specifically for what they need.
We've really just tapped into 3D printing, and just in the 3 years that we've been involved, we've seen the number of applications grow incredibly, and I can't wait to see what lies in store for the next 10, 20 years.
Our mission at MatterHackers is to allow anyone to print anything. So at any time, if you have an idea, you can turn that idea into reality. We have definitely tapped into a game-changing technology. 3D printing will revolutionize manufacturing, and it will revolutionize personal creativity. 3D printing is a technology that is going to change the way that the world works. When we build buildings, we're going to 3D print them. When we make cell phones and microelectronics, we're going to 3D print them. When you need something fixed in your house, you will simply 3D print it on the spot.